Are you wanting to maximize your Social Security benefits? I certainly do. I'm Ryan Wheelis, host of the On the Money YouTube channel powered by Allied Wealth. And in today's video, we're going to spend a few minutes talking about how to maximize your Social Security benefits. One of the first things you can do, folks, is really think about Social Security in a longevity number. And here's an example. Let's just say, for easy math purposes, the husband and wife teams Social Security benefits starting at, let's make them 66, all right? And they live to see age 96, which is a possibility, by the way, today, folks. More possible today than any time in history. Go back and look at some other videos in the channel where we talk about this. But that's a 30-year period. So they retire at 66, start getting benefits of $50,000 a year. They live 30 years to age 96, all right? Well, if you look at that, 30 years times $50,000 a year is $1.5 million. What I'm not factoring in there, though, is cost of living adjustments, which we know from the last one we just got can be quite large, okay? So to that end, Social Security can be a very, very large asset if we look at the amount of income we will receive from it over a 30-year period instead of just a monthly or weekly period. So the thing about Social Security income is we want to get the most out of the system, right? So a couple ways to do that is you want to make sure that you work and contribute for at least 35 years, because Social Security takes your average 35 years of income, and that's what they use to calculate your Social Security benefits. So the more years you have in the system, the greater your check will be, all right? So that's one of the things that you can do. Another thing you can do is delay benefits. And gosh dang, I have so many conversations with clients about this. Some people say, hey, I got to get all I can now. It won't be there for me in the future. But a couple things to consider. You know, at 62, if you take it early, there are some times when I do recommend doing that, by the way. That is, if somebody who's really young at 59 and a half wants to retire, I do recommend taking Social Security at 62. The reason why I do is it takes pressure off the portfolio. So if a husband and wife team had a $3,000 a month Social Security benefit and he did $7,000 a month in income, well, that portfolio would only have to produce $3,000 a month in income for the first 2 years, at which time they could go to Social Security, and now that portfolio doesn't have to produce that $3,000 a month in income, but they're not getting that from Social Security, right? So that takes pressure off the portfolio. The distribution of the portfolio goes down substantially, which can really help with longevity of money. But another way to think about it is if I wait to take my Social Security benefits, I actually get an 8% per year increase in my benefits. I don't know where else I can go get basically an 8% guarantee of increase in my benefits over time. But Social Security does allow you to do that. So every year you delay, you get what's called delayed retirement credits, and your Social Security income can go up, and up. And it's from a guaranteed standpoint, which is pretty cool because you're getting some growth on that Social Security. Another thing to think about here too, folks, by the way, is some people say, well, hey, Ron, I'm still working. I want to take it at 62 and still work. Don't do that, because Social Security is not about what you get in your bank account. It's about what you keep after you pay taxes. Well, I guess in that case it is, because Social Security, the withholding from your Social Security check is taken out. But nonetheless, it's about what you keep after taxes, right? I want you to keep the most Social Security you can after you pay taxes on it. And if you're working and taking Social Security benefits, it may not make sense because you're paying a lot of tax on the benefits you wouldn't pay had you waited till full retirement age or had you stopped working. So it's something to consider. Always think about Social Security as how much you keep after you pay taxes. Another thing to consider is understanding full retirement age, right? That's age 66 for some of us and age 67 for the rest of us. And knowing your full retirement age is really important to optimize your benefits, because that's oftentimes a great time to take your Social Security check. Now, we got to consider spousal benefits here for a minute, right? Because there used to be all kind of loopholes with Social Security. There was a file and suspend, the whole 9 yards. And that went away because advisors like me help folks like you gain the system and get the most out of the Social Security benefits. And Social Security said, hey, we can't support this. We've got to close these loopholes. And they did. But to that end, we still have to consider survivor benefits. And what I mean by that is this. Let's say we got a husband and wife team, and the husband was the breadwinner, and the wife was the domestic engineer. All right, domestic engineer is mom and takes care of the house, and quite frankly works a lot of times harder than the husband does, being the breadwinner. But to that end, Let's say that happened. Well, and let's say that the husband's Social Security check was at 67 was $3,000 a month, and at age 70 maybe it was $4,000 a month. Okay. Well, here's a consideration. The domestic engineer, the wife, is going to get 1/2 of the husband's Social Security check. All right. So if she takes it at 66, she's going to get $1,500 a month. If the husband dies, she gets $3,000 a month if he takes it at 66 too. Okay. But if she takes it at 66 and gets $1,500 a month, and the husband waits till 70 and gets $4,000 a month, and the husband dies, the wife gets $4,000 a month, right? Her $1,500 a month check goes away and she gets $4,000 a month. So if the husband waits until 70 and he predeceases the wife, which majority of the times that will happen, by the way, because women predominantly outlive men, the wife will be left with a much larger Social Security check. Well, that's kind of cool because it can do a couple of things. You guys can spend a little bit more money in retirement and know that you've got that Social Security check coming in the future and things will be okay. So, when it comes to Social Security, to maximize your benefits, it's not just about, hey, I want to get all I can out of the system. We got to factor in things like taxes. We got to factor in the amount of income your portfolio needs to produce early on if you're retiring early. We got to factor in your surviving spouse and what can be left over for them, right? So it's not just about, hey, Ryan, I got to live until I'm 84 to break even if I take it at 62 versus 66, 67, 68, 70, whatever it is. And folks, think about this. If you're in retirement, it does not, and you find yourself in a situation where you need the income, we can always turn it on. It does not take long to turn Social Security income on. So I always advise to take it to delay as long as possible, thinking about the implications again, such as taxes, what the timing of my Social Security benefits will do to the residual value of my portfolio in the future, okay? Because if I'm taking Social Security, the amount of Social Security I get takes pressure off my portfolio equal to my Social Security amount, all right? So I said taxes, but also spousal benefits as well, all right? So a lot of things to consider, but there's a couple of ways to maximize your Social Security benefits. As always, thank you so much for tuning into the channel. I'm your host, Ryan Wheelis. This is the On the Money YouTube channel powered by Ally Wealth. If you like the content we're putting out, give us a like button below and hit the subscribe button, and we'll keep updating you and alerting you when we put out new content. Thanks so much.